Hello everyone, what's up? I'm Neha and I'm back with yet another important concept in biology, which is exchange of gases. So in the last video we talked about alveoli, millions of alveoli in fact, being the site of exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, the respiratory gases. Well, today we're going to talk about how exactly the exchange of gases at alveolus or millions of alveoli occur. Can you see the diagram over here? I have given detailed diagram of a single alveolus over here. So this, and I have used two different colors. This blue marker is used and it is representing the thin wall of alveolus. Singular alveolus, plural alveoli. So this is just one, hence it is alveolus. Thin wall because it is just one cell thick and it is surrounded with this thin wall of capillary. Now this red color is used because the blood is red in color. So this thin wall of capillary is also just one cell thick, right? So we have a single alveolus here which is one cell thick surrounded with the thin wall of capillary which is also one cell thick. Now how thickness of a cell or a membrane matters in diffusion. So diffusion as we define it is the transfer of substances, and here in this context is the gases, alright, oxygen and carbon dioxide. So it's the transport of gases, a movement of gases from higher concentration to the lower concentration. So for diffusion to occur efficiently, the membranes are supposed to be single thick. If they are many cell thick, so then the gases would have to travel more, and hence the diffusion would not be so quick and not so efficient. I hope you understand this reason behind these wall of alveolus and capillary, just one cell thick. Now let's get started. Alright, so here you can see the blood coming from different parts of the body is deoxygenated blood, or it is also known as carbon dioxide rich blood. Now it is carbon dioxide rich blood, alright, so it will have oxygen as well but in negligible amounts, and hence we say it's carbon dioxide rich blood because it's coming from different parts of the body wherein metabolism has already occurred, so carbon dioxide is produced. So this blood coming from different parts of the body would be carbon dioxide rich blood or deoxygenated blood. Now this disc-like structures that I have made over here inside the capillary, these are RBCs. Now RBCs, what are RBCs? RBCs, they stand for red blood cells. Now what is so unique about RBC that I have mentioned it over here in the topic exchange of gases? Well, it is this hemoglobin, which is abbreviated as HP. Now this hemoglobin, HP, is also regarded as the respiratory pigment. Now why hemoglobin is considered as the respiratory pigment? Well, because it is responsible for the transport of oxygen, right? So we will see towards the end in which form oxygen or carbon dioxide is in fact transported. There are different forms, right? So this carbon dioxide rich blood is coming in this capillary, right? Now we talked about diffusion and I gave you the definition of diffusion. So in diffusion, more concentration to lower concentration. The movement is always from higher concentration to lesser concentration. So where do you think the carbon dioxide would move from? Well, obviously from this blood capillary, because the carbon dioxide is more in it as compared to the concentration of carbon dioxide inside the alveolus. So carbon dioxide being more in the blood capillary surrounding the alveolus would diffuse out from the capillary and would enter inside the alveolus and will move out, right? So this is the carbon dioxide, this is how you exhale out. Now next, at the same time, the concentration of oxygen inside the alveolus, the air that you inhaled in, is more. So therefore this oxygen would diffuse from or will move from alveolus into the blood capillary. So this diffusing out of carbon dioxide from the capillary into the alveolus and the movement of oxygen from the alveolus into the blood capillary will make the blood oxygen rich, or there's another word that is oxygenated blood. So when the blood was coming, it was deoxygenated or carbon dioxide blood, and when the blood is moving, after the exchange has occurred at alveolus, or in fact millions of alveoli. So then the blood becomes oxygen rich or oxygenated blood and is ready to be transported to different parts of the body, right? Well, this is about the exchange of gases. Now let's see in which forms oxygen and carbon dioxide gets transported. So this oxygen, this combines with Hb, which is hemoglobin. Remember hemoglobin over here? This Hb is hemoglobin that is present in RBC and is considered as the respiratory pigment. So this hemoglobin, alright, will combine with oxygen. And what percentage of oxygen? Just look at it. 97 to 99% of the oxygen combines with hemoglobin and forms which compound oxyhemoglobin. So we can say 97 to 99% of the oxygen gets transported in which form? Oxyhemoglobin. Let's talk about the rest of the oxygen. The oxygen, approximately 1 to 3%, is transported in the dissolved stage through the plasma. The plasma is the fluid part of the blood in which the different cells are suspended, right? So oxygen, about 1 to 3% of it is transported in dissolved state through plasma. All right. Now this oxygen I've written over here is less soluble in water because now we are comparing it. It's relative. We are comparing it with carbon dioxide. So these are the two ways in which oxygen gets transported. Now let's talk about carbon dioxide as well. Now this carbon dioxide, most of it, or we can say 70% of the carbon dioxide is transported in which form? Bicarbonate, right? Now this carbon dioxide, when combined with hemoglobin, which is approximately 20 to 25% of the carbon dioxide, combines with hemoglobin and forms which compound carbaminohemoglobin. So you can say 20 to 25% of the carbon dioxide gets transported in carbaminohemoglobin form. Well, that is in combination with hemoglobin. What about the rest of the carbon dioxide? There's still 7% of the carbon dioxide yet is left. So that is transported in the dissolved state through plasma. Now you will see the percentage difference of the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the dissolved state through plasma. For oxygen, it was just 1 to 3%, very, very low. And for carbon dioxide, it is comparatively high, 7%. Why? Because the reason is carbon dioxide is more soluble in water and oxygen is less soluble in water. Well, this is all about the exchange of gases and in which forms oxygen and carbon dioxide are transported. Well, this is not it. I have some very interesting facts about the human respiratory system for all of you. So let's get started with lungs. Do you know that lungs can float on water? In fact, lungs are the only organs that can float on water. Well, the credit goes to millions of alveoli. Now, because these alveoli are filled with air, that provides buoyancy to the lungs. In fact, you will be surprised that some of the medical examiners use the so-called lung float test during autopsies to find out whether the baby was stillborn, that is, died in the womb of the mother. So when if the lungs float on water, that means a baby was born alive. If the lungs don't float on the water, that means a baby was stillborn. Now, you will be in fact further surprised that the accuracy of this method, this is approximately 98% of the time accurate, according to a study that was conducted in 2013 in an international journal of legal medicine. Now, next fact. Well, if the lungs are unfolded and they are expanded out to the fullest size, they would roughly be around a tennis court. Well, that is huge, right? Now I have another very interesting fact. We keep talking about alveoli, all right? You will be surprised about the numbers. There are approximately 300 to 500 million alveoli in a human adult lung, right? So yeah, that is again a large number. So lungs being roughly around the size of a tennis court, millions of alveoli. Well, yeah, yes, we're talking about human respiratory system, right? Next very fascinating fact is, ever heard of a phenomena that is photic sneeze reflex? Well, that is, yeah, let me tell you about it. So it is this phenomena that makes a person sneeze when moving from a dark environment to a brighter one. Well, because photo means light. So when there is change in the intensity of the light or from darker to the brighter environment, person sneezes, and this phenomena, this fascinating phenomena, is known as photic sneeze reflex. Well, these are some of the interesting facts that I've found for you people. So what did you like the most? Which interesting fact actually made you awestruck, or what is your takeaway from today's session? What did you love the most? Well, before wrapping the session, I have one question for you, right? This RBC, that stands for red blood cells. At times it is also known as red blood corpuscles. So my question is, what is the difference between cells and corpuscles, right? Please do mention your answers in the comment section, and I would be eagerly waiting to read all the answers, everybody's answers in the comment section. Also, don't forget to also mention what is your takeaway from today's session. Any interesting fact, or do you know more of the interesting facts? Do you know something extra about today's session, about today's concept? Please write everything in the comment section. Believe me, it is worth sharing. You know, I believe in enlightening everyone by whatever knowledge that you have. Now, coming back to a very interesting point, if you think you have understood today's concept, please like. If you think it's worth sharing to somebody else and help another person to understand this concept who may be finding this concept difficult, do share it, and most importantly, do subscribe to my channel so that you get all the important notifications about the videos that I will be posting. And this is an encouragement for me, so I would request you to please like, share and subscribe to my channel. But till then, take very good care of yourselves and your family. Stay happy, healthy, keep on digging more and more, stay curious, maintain that inquisitive nature of yours. Stay curious. Bye bye.